The following video is a non-profit fan production that bears no affiliation with Sega or WildBrain. All characters presented are property of their respective copyright holders. This video contains themes that may be unsuitable for children. Viewer discretion is advised.
I guess I should probably go.
Nicole realized far too late that it was past her bedtime. Her father never really enforced it, he was usually too weak to lift himself up, but her mother was rather strict about such things, and she had most certainly finished her duties at the castle already. Nicole could already feel her ear tingling at the spot her mother would always pinch whenever Nicole disobeyed her. Normally Nicole was much better at keeping track of time, but tonight she just felt different. More relaxed and less concerned about life. Maybe it had been the abnormally clear sky that gave a full view of the galaxy full of stars just outside the window overhead. Maybe it had simply been the calm rising and falling of her best friend's chest as they laid side by side. Whatever it was, a mellow happiness stroked at the strings of Nicole's heart, a happiness that soothed any worries and eased her mind into a warm, melodious daydream of taking Sally's hand in hers and ascending into the night sky, walking on the little stars like a grand staircase.
This was fun. I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, really? Do you have to go?
A bashful smile made its home on Nicole's face. The girls had ended their lively discussion over an hour ago, having shifted into a quiet, contemplative session of laying down and staring out the window. Nicole realized that even without conversing, she was able to learn a lot about Sally just through glances out of the corner of her eye. Like how Sally's calculating gaze never lingered on a single star formation for longer than 2 seconds, or how the corner of her mouth turned up into a subtle smile whenever Nicole's hand brushed against hers. Nicole cherished every second of the silence they shared together. It made her happy to know that Sally placed value in that time as well.
Yeah, my mom is already gonna be upset with me for being late when I get back.
You don't have to go back tonight, you know. We could have a sleepover. We never had a sleepover before.
That's okay. I don't want to give my mom more reasons to worry. She already has her hands full taking care of my dad.
He's still sick.
Nicole hadn't thought much of it when her father first fell ill. He was not a strong man, constantly overworked and barely able to afford 1 meal per day, but he was persistent in his labor. Nicole thought he had simply exhausted himself and would recover after a few days of rest. For months, he laid indoors, panting, shivering, sweating, coughing, and groaning in pain. It made Nicole ashamed to admit that she didn't like looking at him. Every day, his face was more sunken and ghoulish. The glint of a determined man had faded from his tired eyes. He almost never spoke. Nicole's mother cleaned up after him once before she left and once when she returned home. He could do nothing but wait. A primal part of Nicole sensed what he was waiting for.
He's waiting to die. The physician says he's not getting worse, but they still don't know what caused it or how to cure it.
Nicole, is it okay if I hug you?
Mm-hmm.
I can ask my father to send the palace doctor. And if he can't fix it, you and I can always take a gander through the medicine section of the library. I'll bet we could find a cure.
I believe you. That sounds good. Thank you, Sally.
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
11 years later.
I'm awake. I can feel.
For too long, Nicole had simply ceased to be. She wasn't dead. Not quite. She just floated like a dandelion seed in a black sea of emptiness. Unfeeling, undreaming. Years could have passed, or days, or minutes. It all felt the same. But she was back. She was experiencing.
Does this mean it's over? He's finally dead?
Thank you all for joining me.
He's ruled the world for 11 years? All those people he hurt. All the damage he did. I would have saved everyone a lot of trouble by making him pull that trigger. What's done is done. I'm back. That means Kingdabor is gone. Everything that happened in between wasn't something I had anticipated, but I'm still a danger to my friends. Half of the equation has been solved. Now the other half needs attention. In my current state, I could easily warp the minds of Sally and everyone in Knothole Village, rendering everything I've done pointless. I need someone to help me, and I cannot give any commands whatsoever. This may be tricky.
Nicole?
Oh, gosh, I'm surrounded by people. It's okay. Just don't give any commands, and... Wait... What's that?
Yes, Sally.
Oh, my powers haven't grown, have they? Have I already inadvertently placed Sally under my control? Oh, please, no!
I asked for the map of Robotropolis, please.
Of course, Sally.
Okay. Crisis averted. For now.
Blah 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 blah. Did you get all of that, Sonic?
Huh? Yeah, totally. Got it all locked down. Every last deet. But, just so that I know you got it all, why don't you repeat everything you just said?
Sonic, this is kind of important. Could you please take this seriously? We can't proceed with restoration without the parts to build heavy-duty equipment.
What parts?
Hover unit frames. They're made of an alloy sturdy enough for Rotor's new design, but the special tools for assembling them are buried in the rubble.
Thank you, Marco. Ugh. I'm pleased that someone was listening to me.
Y'all best watch out, or that new fella from Lee Pace Wolfpack might just sweep the princess off her feet.
As if. It takes more than a pretty face, a big brain, and huge muscles to impress a girl.
Like what?
Like whatever's going on with Aunt's hair, apparently.
Well, just look at him. He's an adorable little muffin under that uptight royal Gertrude. Why, I could just nom him right up.
Ugh, cool. Didn't feel like having breakfast this morning anyway.
Okay, now did you get everything?
Sorry, what was that, Sal?
Sonic, I am not repeating myself a third time.
If looks could kill, I have a feeling that I would be roast Hedgehog right about now.
You know what? Just take Nicole. She has a list of everything you need.
Sweet! Nicole knows how to feed it to me nice and simple. This'll be a piece of cake. Right, Nicole?
Right.
Yeah, time to hit the juice.
Sonic, wait,
Jeez, am I glad to get out of there. I needed to get out and do something before I went nuts. Knothole's been feeling more and more like a cage these past few days. Who would have ever thought that I'd feel more freedom in Robo-Dump? Even after just a few days without Robotnik's factories belching out all that polluted stink, the sun's starting to shine in Robotropolis. Alright, Nicole, what am I looking for?
I am not sure.
Well, that makes two of us. I thought Sally said you'd made a list.
Sally probably expected me to. I most likely would have if I were functioning the way I'm supposed to.
Oh, so you're malfunctioning. Sally will be even less happy with me if I come back with Nicole broken.
No, I simply have a new directive.
You're kinda giving me the creeps, Nicole. You're not gonna go all Terminator on me, are ya?
Nothing so dramatic or possibly so Dramatic, I mean. Not whatever you said.
Nicole is talking weird. Something is definitely wrong with this little computer. What's this new directive then?
Will you please consider sitting down? I have quite a bit of explaining to do.
So, just to recap, you're actually a person, but your mind was trapped in this machine by Robotnik, and you've been hiding all this time because you have freaky mind powers that make people your slaves?
That is a rather crude summarization of events, but not inaccurate.
I'm somewhat impressed. I expected more skepticism from Sonic, more stupor, anything to indicate shock. But he seems to be taking everything I just said remarkably well.
And you knew Sally?
Yes. I arranged for this computer to wind up in her possession. I trusted that she would take good care of it until the time was right.
And how do you know when the time is right?
I left behind protocols to reinstall my mind after Robotnik was dealt with.
Okay, here's something I don't get. Why didn't you just have Robotnik turn himself in with your mind abilities?
I was an emotionally distressed child who just discovered she possessed godlike power. I was not in a state fit of mind. Besides, I do not think it was wise for me to use this power at all.
I mean, not even a little?
Do you value your freedom, Sonic?
Is that even a question?
I value my freedom, and I almost lost it. Robotnik tried to turn me into a weapon. He got the worst kind. I may not be what he wanted, but this power is dangerous, so no one should have it. If I use it, I will inevitably fulfill his vision. I will become his greatest weapon.
And I am not a weapon.
If you value your freedom, then it's better to undo this as quickly as possible.
But now that I think back on it, my whole plan was guided entirely by fear. I feared what Robotnik was capable of doing to me. That any person on Mobius could do what he did with a smile on their face. It scared me. What I might have done in retaliation terrified me. Maybe if I had known about his plan to overthrow the king, perhaps I would have intervened. But he ruined me. In a matter of minutes, my life was destroyed. He had taken my faith in the goodness of people and dashed it on the ground. My very soul has been whipped and bound, disassociated from the world and unable to free itself from the silent vacuum of a hellish, unliving void. Deep down, I'm still just a child. A child that still burns from betrayal. A child that is frankly all too aware that she could still seize what little remains on this planet.
Alright, so what happens now?
Now I must ask you for help. If something isn't done about me soon, I will inevitably slip up and invade the minds of people around me.
Well, that's hero time calling. How can I help?
First, we are going to need a shovel.
Nicole, this feels all kinds of wrong. Matter of fact, this feels downright evil.
I understand your reasons to be concerned. They are valid, but this is not my true grave. You will not be defiling my resting ground.
You're absolutely sure?
Within reason. My coffin is actually a cryochamber. I had Robotnik build it for me. It should have preserved my body, but after so long, I can't say for certain it hasn't stopped working.
Yeah, I don't know if I can do this, Nicole.
Sonic, please. I cannot live like this. You have no idea what this power and knowledge is doing to me. The longer I stay trapped in this horrible cage, the weaker my resolve grows. If I give in to the mounting temptation, I fear I will not have it in me to stop myself a second time.
It's crazy. I hold the brain of a kid in my hand. I really don't understand. How could I? I can never fully comprehend what she's going through. If everything she said is true, I don't want to comprehend. But this little computer has saved my life before, It saved everyone's lives at least once. Maybe the real Nicole wasn't at the wheel during those times, but she's been part of the freedom fighter team in some form for a long time. And freedom fighters always have each other's backs.
I know I am asking a lot for you, but I am desperate. If there were any other way, I would tell you.
It's okay, Nicole. I'll do it.
Thank you.
Here we go. It's already midday. Somehow, I don't think I'm gonna be able to get those things Sally wanted.
I appreciate you doing this for me. I wasn't even sure if you would believe me.
Yeah, I got a nose for liars. Man, I can't wrap my head around all this.
Well, that makes two of us.
So why did you never try this earlier? Why did you have to wait until Robotnik was gone? You would have been safe in that hole. We would have kept you safe.
I believe you, but I was afraid. Robotnik kidnapped and tortured me in the royal castle, what I thought was the safest place in the world. I just couldn't come back to a world with him still in it. Besides, Sally knows none of this. I wouldn't want her to get mixed up in all of this.
Why not? You two are friends. You don't think she deserves to know that you're okay?
Absolutely not! Sorry. That's not what I meant. What I meant to say is, I'm not okay. Not yet. We do not know if my body survived. And even if it did, there's no guarantee what we're going to do with it will work. And for all intents and purposes, I am dead to Sally. There's no point in dredging up old wounds. If all of this effort turns out to be for nothing.
Okay, and what are you gonna do if this doesn't work?
There are more permanent options.
I'm surprised Sal never told me about you. I must have met her not long after you. Well, your whole thing.
That is odd. I wonder if Sally forgot all about me. I hope not. We didn't have long together, all things considered. But nobody ever meant more to me than Sally. I hope the feeling wasn't one-sided.
Looks like I got it. What do we do once we have it all the way out?
I'm afraid you will have to drag it into the ruins of the War Ministry further into the city. After that, I will walk you through the steps of making minor repairs and modifications to the device we need. You will need to track down some parts, so you're not escaping that duty today. Fortunately, I do have a list for those materials.
You mean I gotta build stuff? With my hands?
Tell you what, once we introduce the concept of currency into society, I'll buy you chili dogs for a year.
Alright, I'm sold. Man, I think I did it. Never have I wished more for Rotor's help, but I really think I did it. I mostly just listened as Nicole told me what to grab and where to stick it. But I'm gonna go ahead and brag to Sally that I'm basically a master mechanic at this point. Guess it's time for the moment of truth.
I guess it is.
There's the button to open Nicole's coffin. I just need to give it a tap. One little push.
If my body is intact, it will be incredibly fragile. I encourage you to please be very, very gentle. That means no running, please.
Got it. Ah, please don't be a skeleton. Please don't be a skeleton. Please don't be a skeleton. Here goes nothing. Oh, thank goodness. It's just a little girl. A lynx, it looks like. She doesn't look dead at all, just sleeping. She's even got a bouquet of white lilies that barely looks a day old. Ugh, nice to meet you, Nicole. Now, let's get you home. Whoops. Sorry, didn't mean to drop those flowers. But I guess you don't need them anymore. Okay, I ran all the right protocols, attached every wire, fixed up everything exactly the way Nicole carefully explained it. I double-checked and triple-checked everything to make sure I didn't screw up. This has to work. I'll see you on the other side. Right, Nicole?
See you on the other side.
Is he doing this to make me upset? Does he enjoy this?
Honey, you know that boy's got the attention span of a dead housefly. He's probably off making his own adventures out there. Heavens help this poor girl. This is far from the first time we've had this exact conversation. And for some reason, I doubt it'll be the last.
He should know that this isn't the time. I asked him to do one thing today. One thing! It's almost sundown, and where has he been all day? Off goodness knows where, avoiding me like he has been for the past week.
Oh, is that genuine tension I hear? This don't sound like the usual nitpicking Sally has for that boy's antics. Avoiding you? Now what makes you think he's avoiding you, sugar? Everybody knows that Hedgehog is smitten as a kitten for you, and wandering off every now and then don't change that.
I'm not just talking about today. He's been completely avoiding me emotionally. He barely talks to me in private, and when he does, it's always with curt, one-word answers. He refuses to tell me what's wrong, and he acts like I'm being the unreasonable one for not ignoring that something is obviously very wrong. Then he runs off, shirking his duties and acting surprised when that frustrates me. I'm at my wit's end, Bunnie.
Sally, I think there's just one thing you ain't taken into consideration here. The world is changing fast for a second time within our lifetimes. Not everyone's gonna be ready for that. Sonic had all these years to become someone he otherwise might not have become. A hero. And now we're steamrolling towards a time where, well, we just might not need a hero no more. He's probably scared to death of that, sugar.
Well, but then we can work through that together. But he won't let me.
Some boys just have a hard time accepting help from anything but their own two hands. You just gotta be patient with them and let them know that you'll be there when they need you. And trust me, Sally girl, that boy needs you.
I need a cup of water right now!
Good to see you too.
Oh my stars! Where on Mobius did you find this poor little doll?
Whoa, where did this little girl come from? A lynx. That's odd. She kind of reminds me of someone.
Sally.
What? Am I going crazy? No, I know those green eyes. They're the kind of green that shimmers like sunlight reflecting off thousands of grass blades in an empty field. But it's a trick. It has to be a hallucination or something. This isn't possible.
Sally, what is going on here?
Nicole?
Sorry I'm late, Sally.